Hey, what up, YouTube? Flying Lucha Brothers here, and we are here to show you guys an Infernoid deck profile. My build is a little bit different from a lot of others. I have been playing this deck since it came out in Secrets of Eternity. It's really fun, slowly becoming one of my favorite decks. Although as of right now, it's not as strong because we are missing a lot of cards. Not a lot of cards, but we're missing card destruction, monster gate. It's not like in the OCG where they have everything. Anyways, let's get right into it. First, you want to play one of the kings, one unknown Q. Really, really good. Pops all the monsters on the field when it gets better summoned. Really good. Negate spells and traps. Opposite, spells and traps, negate monster effects. In my opinion, most of the time will be a little bit better than a Nonku or Nonku, however you want to say it. But Deviati is pretty damn good. I'd probably bring out Deviati more than a Nonku, but they're both pretty damn good. Alright, and these are the two ups that requires 2 Infernoids to be special summoned. 2 Adontel. He's gonna be like the one that you bring out the most because he could, burn your opponent for game so fast. It pretty much destroys 2 monsters when it attacks, pretty much, and then it could attack directly. If your opponent, if it destroys the monster, it could attack again, potentially go for game. Only run 2 sides of miss. You don't want your hand to be too cloggy with too many. With too many of these guys. You don't want your hand to be too cloggy. And I feel like, as of right now, Toned Out just a little bit better than Sidesmith. Because Sidesmith is not that good against Pendulums. Because, Pendulums don't go to the grave. Pendulums don't go to the grave, so you can't banish. So it's pretty bad against Qliphort. However, it's really good against, say, BAs, Shadows, stuff like that. Alright. And now here are the 1-ups that requires 1 Infernoid, 3 Petrulia, pop spells and traps, pop pendulum zones. Really good, really, really good. Probably my favorite of the 1-ups because you could go into synchros with them, XYZs with them. They're really fun. Alright, and 3 Harmodicks. They pop monsters. Pretty damn good too. Pop. Pretty much anything. And for the level 2, 3 Antra, it gets rid of, say, an annoying Dark Law or even Winda, Construct. Pretty much anything that you can't really deal with, especially Dark Law. And Construct, I should say. The one for Myas is just feeder for the Decatron. It also has a pretty decent effect if you open up with like a Decatron and you're going second, you target their set Falco, return Falco back to the deck. It gives you so much advantage. Alright, and the best Infernoid in the deck. Decatron. It's a tuner, it can be normal summoned, works with reasoning. There are so many different kind of plays you can do with Decatron. I just haven't been able to find all of them yet, but you can make so much combos with these guys. It's kind of ridiculous. So glad that these guys came out. They're the answer to like Imperial Arm Wall, Emptiness, pretty much stuff like that. Alright, for the spells, it's a little bit different from a lot of other people's. And you'll see in a bit. 3 Reasoning, self-explanatory. Very, very self-explanatory. Monster Gate. Same thing, except somewhat a little bit better. Alright, 3 Drag Downs. We don't have card destruction, and we don't have 3 Monster Gate, so this is somewhat of a replacement, and it has been working out fairly well. Especially if you go first turn and you open over this, you just get so much free information. Infernoids, they do not like going first at all. But if you open up with this and you're going first, and you drop this on your opponent, it just gives you so much information. And plus, you get to draw another card. So it's just so good against a lot of decks. Good against, it's really good in the early game. Alright, let's keep going. 2 Void, Vanishment, to search out your Seer or your Imagination. I play my build a little bit differently. I've tested out so many different kind of builds. You could, ask my other partner about that. But yeah, I've tested this card and it's really it works really well. I really like it. Yeah, in the future, it's even gonna be better when the Master or Pendulum deck comes out. And you'll see why in a bit here. Although the second effect, I should say, the second effect isn't too relevant, but you can still use it. It's really, it's a decent effect, but it works. It just gives you another option, I guess. And 2, Void Imagination, so good against pretty much anything except Necros. Stuff like that. It doesn't do anything against Necros, and what else? I'm missing. Oh, Cosmos. Cosmos is probably this deck's worst matchup. This deck really struggles against Cosmos. However, if you could get your Nonku out, it should be no problem. Anyways, getting on to the point, Imagination. Just so good if you open up with 1 Imagination and a Vanishment. Your Vanishment, ditch, grab this, activate it, send 6 from the deck to the grave, and then send out your Tiara, pitch your other 2 Tiara in the grave, activate this, and then just go off, lock your opponent out with like Tiaras, Ononku, Deviatis, Tongdels, stuff like that. It's just really good. It really pressures your opponent if you could get this off. Other spells, 2 Seers, good for protection, really good card. Good in your hand and in the grave. 1 for 1. Thins out your deck for your Reason plays and Monster Gate plays. And it special summons Degatron, so why not? Really good. Book of Eclipse. It's kind of another... since you don't play any traps, this deck does struggle, especially if you're going first. You don't have anything to really protect you, and I feel like Eclipse somewhat does a job. It does a job pretty well. I was originally playing 2, but I decided to cut 1 because it just sucks kind of drawing to like 2 of them in your opening hand. Again, this is like a trap card. This could be played as a trap card. I mainly just play this as a trap card. Stop your opponent from playing. Book their Dark Law, book their Winda, their Construct, their I don't know, their Cosmos stuff like that. Oh, I forgot. Works with Forerunner because it doesn't target. 2 Cyclones. If you don't have Cyclones, just play them as T's. They both essentially do the same thing. However, it's double utensil, so. Burial. Self-explanatory, 2 Dark Holes. Or Raigeki. Whatever. Let's move on to the extra deck. Now the extra deck is really up to you on how you or what you want to play. It's really personal preference. But this is what I like to play. You're going to want to play 3 Tiara. If you're playing Imagination, you have to play 3, or you should play 3. When you summon 1, you could use a second effect to pitch 2 monsters from the extra deck to the grave. Or, I'm sorry, 3 actually. You're going to want to pitch these 2 and another random one. Say, I don't know, Exoton or something. Yeah, you're going to want to pitch these guys. More fuel to your Infernoids, Really good beater to... decks like BAs can't really deal with this unless they have, like, trap cards laying around. Alright, and for the non-effect extra deck of monsters, grab Archfiend, Gemini Pearl, and Gaia. Just for OTK purposes. And for some rank 4s, Exoton, Castell, and Ragnar Zero for Qliphorts. And just a lot of random synchros. You could really throw in anything, Crimson Blader, Black Rose, Stardust, Clear Wing, pretty good. Scrap Dragon, and Hot Red Dragon, If you want to make a, you want to make a synchro play, level 8 synchro play, you usually want to bring out either one of these guys because this pops a monster, and I usually summon this to pop like back rows, but it's really up to you. Just remember, this pops monster, this pops back row. But again, it's up to you. The extra deck. Now, if you're playing against, say, Necros, you're gonna want to you're obviously gonna want to side these guys out because they do nothing against Necros. So you take these out, you take the void cards out, and you put these in. And if you have a really bad matchup against, say, again, Necros, Cosmos, some kind of rogue deck, you want to take these out and take these in, because it's the old build, but it still works too. Again, you want to side these in. Your opponent are not gonna really be expecting Lightsworns after you play like these imagination and stuff. They're not gonna be expecting you to play Lightsworns unless you side them in. And I always, when I have a bad matchup, I always side them in. Alright, what else? Some monsters. Spell Counselors against Necros. Reasoning into it, great. Jinzo against the Tellers. Surprisingly, this deck does struggle against the Tellers. Chaos Hunter, good against the Mirror Match or Cosmos. Nitro Glitch. It's going to be even better next format when when more Pendulum decks come out. It's going to be pretty good. 2 MFTs, 2 Mistakes, and 2 Road Decrees. Alright, that's it for the deck. If you guys have any suggestions, just let me know. I really like this deck. Really fun deck. I'll be trying to play this deck in my locals next week for a box tournament, and I'll probably let you guys know how that went. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay cool.